It's time for Dodger Baseball.
What a catch by Mookie Betts. Another home run for Corey Seager. Another strikeout for Kershaw. A robbery of Tatis. Gone. What a snap. This is what an ace looks like.
And tagged out is Riley, a double play.
Dodgers have won it all in 2020.
And welcome to the Dodgers Nation postgame show. I'm your host, Doug Mc... Oh, whoops. Yep. And welcome to the... Let's try that one more time. Welcome to the Dodgers Nation postgame show. I'm your host, Doug McCain. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at DMac_LA. Thanks for rocking with us on a special Friday night episode of the Dodgers Nation postgame show. LA, they get the win. They beat San Diego. Julio Urias says, shh, Diego, tonight. He was fantastic. He gets his 17th win of the year, and to me, he's verging on top 10 status in Major League Baseball. He lowers that ERA down to 2.98. He was phenomenal. Now I think he's sixth in innings in the National League, and Julio Urias is really, and to me, what really stood out was the way he used that fastball tonight. He had the command. And we're going to break down the entire game. But first, let me know where you're rocking with us here on the Dodgers Nation postgame show. Give me those cities, those zip codes, those area codes. And how did you feel about Fernando Tatis Jr. getting those two outs in the outfield and throwing up the two there, kind of taunting the crowd? And then Max Muncy, he would get him with the two-run shot, and that would really be all the offense the Dodgers needed. Max Muncy powering LA's offense. But let me know down below in the comments, what was your thoughts on Fernando Tatis Jr. trying to get the troll job, and then he ends up striking out how many times? I believe it was 2 times, right? So we're going to get into all that. You know, the Padres, really the San Diego Fraudres, what do you want to call them? But let's get to these comments, guys. You guys are firing away. Thanks for rocking with us, as always. You got Fresno from Scott Strong, Alex Renteria. Julio was awesome. I'm so glad the Dodgers got to Musgrove. Yeah, remember when Musgrove said, oh, we think we've got a better team than those guys. We're not worried about them getting Max Scherzer or Trey Turner. What is the lead now? Is it 13.5? Is it 14 games? They're out of the picture in the wild card. But the sad reality of all of this, we can enjoy this win, but the sad reality is that this team, they could be headed for a collision course to play in that wild card game, and anything can happen in a one-game do-or-die wild card game, and the Dodgers could find themselves in a situation at home where they're going to have to go with the Max Scherzer or Walker Buehler to get through and advance to the NLDS. But I still think the Dodgers can finish the year 17-4, 18-3, go on a nice little run, and overtake the Giants in the NL West. But here we go. Let's go, D-Mac Maniacs. Hey, you heard that. You heard that yesterday. Okay, that's what I'm talking about, Don Kim. Always rock with this. You know, I appreciate you, my man. UPS Padres from Ari Swerdlow. But the Fraudres, there we go. Look, you guys know how we get down on here. We have some fun. It's nothing serious, but you guys know you throw in that. You guys bring the heat, and that's why I love coming on this show, because honestly, you guys are the funniest people on the internets, and you guys always bring those nice Padre puns, the Padre disses, the Padre trolling. But here we go, Doug, my man, Dodgers, and what up, Daniel Braun over on YouTube? Marco, Sonora, Mexico, Doug, home state of Fernando Valenzuela. Well, welcome to the show, Marco. Glad to have you in with us here after the Dodgers. They win 3-0. They shut out the Padres, and now the Dodgers are in position to win the season series against San Diego when it didn't look like it was possible. Now they even things up, and the Dodgers haven't lost the season series, so I think it was 2010. So hopefully they can carry on that streak. Still 5 more to go with San Diego, and you're really feeling good about the Dodgers with Julio Urias on the mound today, just going in there, taking care of business, a real business-like performance by Julio. It was his longest outing since July 21st, and the Dodgers actually lost that game. This one, a different story. They were able to get out with the win and continue to keep pace with the San Francisco Giants. They remain 2.5 games back, 3 in the loss column. But here we go. The Dodgers' own Tatis. That's from Deborah Young. The shift they have on Muncy is crazy, from David Ray Veramoda. Yeah, I noticed that tonight too. And really, it's just kind of a microcosm of modern-day baseball. You're going to see stuff like that. You're going to see those kinds of alignments. And, Max Muncy, it was nice to see him really get a hold of one. That was some parking lot pimping by Max Muncy today. Just at the 428 feet, 108 miles per hour off the bat by Mad Max to get the Dodgers on the board with that 2-run shot for the funky one. But here we go. Let's get back to this comment section. We'll break down the entire game. But let me know, who is your player of the game? Are you going Urias? Are you going Max Muncy? To me, it sounds like it's an easy call, but with this offense, last 25 games, averaging just over 3 runs per game, having the ineptitude with this Dodgers offense, the fact that Muncy was able to provide that dong when he did, gave Urias a little bit of a cushion, gave him enough run support to get this dub tonight. And to me, I think it's close, but obviously the Urias he carried tonight, he put this team on his back and said, hey, we're going deep into this one. And I'm going to give you 7 strong. And he was fantastic. Like I said, 7 innings pitched, 3 hits, 7 punch-outs, just 1 walk. Lowered his ERA down to 2.98. That's top 10 in Major League Baseball, right in the mix of Wheeler. Oh, top 10 in the National League with Wheeler and Wainwright in the mix in that top 10 category. Then last 5 games, 3 earned runs in 28 2/3 pitch. So that's a .94 ERA. In that stretch, Dodgers have gone 5-0. So there is just a winning feeling when Julio Urias takes the mound. He's stacking dubs for the Dodgers. You love to see it. You have confidence when he's out there on the mound. I love his poise. I love the way he's attacking hitters with that fastball. That was another big takeaway for me today, was the usage of that fastball tonight. And tonight he goes with his heater about 54% of the time, the curveball 32% of the time, the changeup 14% of the time. So you also see the velocity increase in that 4-seam fastball. He's highest, it topped out at 96.9 miles per hour, averaged 94.5 on this heater on the night, and that tells me that he's feeling good. And that to me is big because he's now up to 160, a little over 163 innings pitched on the year, and it looks like his arm is feeling good. He has been a rock for this Dodgers rotation, and he proved it once again tonight. So big ups. Mash that like button for Julio Urias. Share the show, retweet the show, and how you guys feel about Julio Urias? Do you consider him a top 10 pitcher in Major League Baseball? Give me a Y for yes or give me an N for no. Do you consider Julio Urias, who I dubbed the Urias, do you consider him a top 10 pitcher? I want your takes down below in the comment section. I'm here, dude. We won. What a game. Urias, yeah. I'm going to give you one of these. Musgrove ain't nada. I like that. Yeah, Musgrove, I was like, Musgrove must go. And I was hoping we would get to him, chase him. He goes 3 innings, and I'll never forget, man, when you see a guy in the Astros uniform, the trash throws, the asterisks, that's kind of what you tend to remember. But this guy was trying to play it cool, trying to act like, oh, we have a better team than the Dodgers. It's like, no, you don't. You relax, keep your mouth shut, because the Padres haven't done anything in the NL West, and they continue to do so this year. But like I said, I might have to eat my words based on if we fall into that wild card game, and that's, like I said, it keeps me up at night. It's that dreaded 1-game wild card game. To think of a team that's on pace to win over 101 games, 102 games at this point, to find themselves in a 1-game postseason do-or-die game, to me, it just does not sit right, because you could lose a team like the Dodgers. But look, we're not going to talk about changes of that rule, because we know them's the rules this year, and that's why there's more incentive for this Dodger team to go on a run, catch the Giants, and find a way to win their 9th straight NL West title, because you don't want to put yourself in that position. You want to know you're going to get at least a 5-game series, and then with all the talent and the depth that the Dodgers have, you like their chances against any team right now in Major League Baseball. But let's get back into this comment section, because you guys are firing away. Thanks for rocking with us. A little TGIF LFG here on the Dodgers Nation post-game show. If you haven't yet, be sure to subscribe to the Dodgers Nation YouTube channel at youtube.com/DodgersNationTV. Also, check out my man Eric Eulo's 3 Up, 3 Down. Also, be sure to gear up at gearup.la. Some of the best Dodgers t-shirt designs in the game. You're going to find it right over there at www.gearup.la. But here we go. Musgrove is a cheating Astro. We got C. They found a way to bring easy out belly flop into the game from the bench where he should be sat. Yeah, I mean, look, he came in there late, didn't have a major impact on this game. You saw that was kind of the big story before the game, was you saw Gavin Lux there starting in left field, and he did take a walk early on, so that was a promising side. Look at this Dodgers offense. I mean, they end up going 4 for 26 on the night, so not their best night, about 153, but they did draw those 5 walks, and that was definitely big. Helped the Dodgers generate some runs there, but 8 strikeouts, that you'll live with that, especially with the 5 walks under their season average. So the Dodgers, they got it done. They did just enough on offense. It was nice to see Max Muncy come through there in the 3rd inning, 1 on, 1 out. And, he was able to put the Dodgers on top there. Bottom of the 2nd. So Seager, he grounded to first. Justin Turner, he walked. So the first base run of the night, JT. And then Will Smith, he grounded out to 3rd. And then this is the 2nd actually. So the bottom. Let's jump to the bottom of the 3rd. So Urias strikes out swinging, then Betts, he gets the Dodgers' first hit of the night, a single for Mookie Betts, and Mookie on the night, he ends up going 1 for 3, had the walk, and then on an 0-1 count, Max Muncy, he just unloads on a hanging cutter from Max Musgrove, and it was Max Muncy there deep into the left field pavilion. I'm telling you, that's a parking lot pimping shot there by Max Muncy, and that was big. Puts the Dodgers up 2-0, gives him his 32nd home run of the season. The most he's hit with the Dodgers is 35. He's done it twice. He did in 2018 and 2019, so I'm hoping he can eclipse that number, still can do it. So he needs to get hot. He's a guy that really needs to get hot for the Dodgers, but that was big there. Then Trey Turner, he struck out swinging. Not a good night for Trey Turner, and that is unfortunate. Trey Turner, he goes 0 for 4, and of course that streak, Trey Turner's streak is over. So that's unfortunate. But hey, a 16 game hitting streak is nothing to sniff at. So when one streak ends, another one begins tomorrow. So it ends at 16 games for Trey Turner. And kind of the big question there is, how do you like him batting in the number 3 hole? Yes, you can put him there. He has an opportunity to hit for more power, can hit with some runners on base. You see, he's a guy that can get you doubles, he can get home runs. And Mookie Betts, he was able to get a single tonight, and that's where he's comfortable, and that's where the Dodgers had most of their success last year. But Trey Turner, 21-6 with him at the leadoff spot, and if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Don't get too cute with this lineup. I think the way that Trey Turner can run the bases, the way he's hitting for average this season, I think Trey Turner really is the obvious choice to stay at that leadoff spot. I mean, Mookie Betts tonight, he raised his average to 268, and Trey Turner, look, he's at 318. He's had a better year at the plate, being more of a consistent hitter. So to me, I really don't love that move. I have to be honest with you, having Mookie Betts at the leadoff spot. I would actually rather see Mookie hit 3rd and give him the opportunity to hit with runners on, because with the way his hip is, do you really want to put him in a position where his job is to be that spark plug, be that catalyst that gets on and runs the bases like a maniac? Yes, we know he's capable of it. We saw it again and again last year in the postseason, but I think that if you have Mookie adjust to being more of a hitter where he's up there trying to slug and trying to get runners home, I think that could also pay dividends as far as the wear and tear on his hip. So I really don't love that move, having Trey Turner bat on the leadoff spot, go from leadoff to batting 3rd, when he was one of the Dodgers' most productive hitters after that trade, batting right there at the top of the lineup. But here we go. Do I see us catching San Francisco, John Davis? My answer is yes. Mr. Cat, the poop trays. Mr. Cat, why are you killing me on that one? Here we go. 760 Carlsbad. Padres fans held a parade for Tatis when he taunted our crowd. Did they? I mean, look, I only have to look it up. I know you're right. But that's crazy, man. The Padres fans, they having parades all day, every day. Urias, Cy Young over Walker Buehler. Lissandro Garcia. I wouldn't go that far as Julio Urias being a Cy Young over Walker Buehler. I mean, he's not. I mean, if we're being just completely honest, he's not there yet. I did a whole video kind of about it, but look, I mean, Urias is really a solid pitcher. I mean, heading into today, that ERA plus at 129. He's been everything the Dodgers could have wanted him to be this year, and he's taken the next step in his career, and that's the most important thing for Julio Urias. He's definitely, to me, cemented himself as a number 3 starter on a World Series contending team, and to me, that goes a long way. But on some nights he'll pitch like a number 1 or number 2, and that's the reality with Julio Urias. This guy, when he's on and he catches fire, he's out there and he's inducing soft contact. He's getting big outs. He's getting the big punch outs when he needs them. And tonight, though, 7 punch outs, had the 1 walk. It really wasn't about that. And really his specialty is just keeping hitters off balance. That left-hand delivery, when he's attacking the strike zone, he's painting, he's going to get you big outs. Tonight, 5 ground ball outs, 9 fly ball outs. And, to me, I consider him – I wouldn't put him in Walker Buehler's category. If you just look at – across the board, Walker Buehler, even after that rough start, still a 2.31 ERA and a 1.73 ERA plus. So he's not quite in that territory just yet, but he's continuing to get better. I think what people don't realize about Julio Urias is just the fact that my man he's just turned 25 years old. Julio Urias just turned 25. And he still has a lot of room to grow, and I think he's only going to get better. I like to call him the Urias, and I do think that he will be in that mix. But right now I see him as a number 3 starter on a World Series contending team that has those flashes of brilliance where you see him go out there and look like a number 1 or a number 2 guy during certain innings, certain at-bats. But to answer your question, I would say no as far as the Cy Young right now. Of course – we can get into the wins and losses thing, but that's kind of a dated metric when it comes to evaluating how effective pitchers are. And there's something fun to it, but really, it just – I don't want to really get into that. Are you guys – let me ask you guys down below in the comment section, how much do you value the wins and losses statistic? Me, I don't value it very much really at all at this point. It's based on your teammates and being able to get run support. To me, I think that the wins losses, I think that all basically died the year that DeGrom won, and you see DeGrom winning with 10 going like 10-9, 11-8. Stuff like that, and he's taking home the Cy Young. But here we go, the San Diego Padres. We still only got 4 hits. Yeah, exactly what I was saying. Lux took some walks. Craig Osterberg. Yeah, he definitely. You look like he was expanding the strike zone. He wasn't taking those cuts out there where he was just swinging and missing. You saw nice competitive at bats from Gavin Lux, and I definitely was impressed. You see him maturing as a hitter. And, when it was kind of a firestorm today, really, when he gets called up, because you saw Dodgers Twitter, you saw everyone out there was a little upset that it wasn't Matt Beatty, and we saw what happened later with McKinney's injury, that Beatty ends up coming up anyway, so maybe that was obviously known in advance, but he's definitely is more of an athlete than Matt Beatty, so he's a guy that can be a more competent outfielder. There's no question about it, but yeah, I like what I saw from Gavin Lux tonight. Still a lot of room to grow. Like, it's going to take some time. Got to give him some time and be patient and allow him to face big league pitching for a couple of days before you can complain about his at bats and not producing. But I definitely think that it was definitely a more confident. He didn't look. This is a Gavin Lux out there that competed at the plate, and that walk was nice to see. Maximum Maxwell, Laser Eye Muncy. I like that, Dong. Yes, why? Julio Urias, Cy Young. Julio peak better than Walker's. Noah, I don't think. We're talking about Walker Buehler, man. Buehler's a guy over 20. He's a guy 2.35 postseason ERA. I don't think that you can really. We saw the brilliance that Julio Urias had, last year. And 13 1/3 scoreless innings in the postseason, and that was coming out of the bullpen. But does it? He was fantastic. Without Julio Urias last year, plain and simple, the Dodgers do not win the World Series. No question about it. Buehler. Just the proof is in the numbers. And I guys like to bring my facts to the fight. Don't let my facts get in the way of my feelings. And the fact remains, Walker Buehler, a 2.35 ERA in his postseason career, and he has already pitched 61 1/3 innings. He a WHIP of .995. Look, the numbers speak for themselves. Walker Buehler is one of the elite, ultra elite postseason pitchers in the game right now. And until I see something different in the postseason, I'm not going to change my opinion on that. But that doesn't mean, you guys know, I mean, who's a bigger fan of Julio than I am? I just like to keep it real. And that's what I think is my job, really, just to keep it real with you guys. One game at a what's up, Diane Schroeder? How you doing this Friday night? One game wild card game is a joke, Diane Schroeder. Please, amen. I'm with you. High five, big facts. You're right on the money. Whatever you want to say, I agree with you. But hey, D-Mac, great win. Here we go. We got Beatty. Yeah, I'll be there for season finale weekend. Who's all going? That'll be awesome. Crazy to say that Julio's peak may be better than Walker's. Serious question. What are you using to make that point? I'm curious. Now the other aces. Pitch, yeah, great. Craig Osterberg. To me, this I felt good about this Friday night game with Julio Urias coming off a loss, knowing what's at stake, knowing the Giants had taken care of business. Yes, as we talked about earlier, 4 for 26 is not explosive offense. Thankfully, Max Muncy was able to get that 2-run shot, and then later in the game, Chris Taylor, who has been struggling mightily lately, to say the least. It was nice to see him go out there and get a productive at bat there in the bottom of the fourth. So bottom of the fourth, Will Smith, he doubles to center. And by the way, Will Smith really has been outstanding. Will Smith, he leads the National League in home runs as a catcher. His OPS since the All-Star break over 1,000. He's been really fantastic for this Dodger team. He's a guy who's going to slug, and that's what I love most about Will Smith. He's going to hit the ball hard. A lot of times it's going to be to the opponent's gloves, but it was nice to see Will Smith in the bottom of the fourth crank that double to center, and then Luxy struck out swinging, and then Chris Taylor, and then Smith, he advanced to third on that wild pitch, and then Chris Taylor, he hit that sac fly to left to give the Dodgers a 3-0 lead. Urias strikes out swinging. Urias is kind of is slumping with the stick, which you don't want to see. One of the better hitting pitchers in the game, but that gave the Dodgers a 3-0 lead. And then in the top of the fifth, so Frazier, he gets a leadoff single. Then Musgrove, he strikes out on that little bunt attempt. Then Grisham flied out. Then on a 1-0 count, this Chris Taylor impacted the game, and that did not go unnoticed tonight. For Chris Taylor slumping the way he is, he's still going to have an impact on the game, and you saw that offensively with the big productive out, with the big sac fly to get the Dodgers a 3-0 lead. And then how about the rob job on Manny Machado there in the top of the fifth? So in the top of the fifth. So it was a 1-0 count to Manny Machado. He hits one at deep left center, and Chris Taylor, he plays the wall nicely, makes the catch, and he robbed him of at least an extra base hit, possibly a home run, but it was a great play nonetheless. And Manny Machado, you owe most your $300 million contract. At this point, we need to go to litigation. I think that Manny Machado needs to pay up. I'm getting tired of it at this point. But, yeah, it was nice to see him make that catch. Chris Taylor said, Manny Machado, no, and he does the rob job. And how many great rob jobs have we seen against the Padres for Dodgers outfielders? We got A.J. Pollock. He robs Manny Machado. How about FTJ? He gets robbed by Cody Bellinger. And this latest example, you have Manny Machado getting robbed by CT3. And then also, you can't forget about the CT 93.3 throw out there of Grisham, of the throw out last year in that big series. So, yeah, it was nice to see Chris Taylor have an impact on the game. And, yeah, he's a guy we just got to stick with, man. This is Chris Taylor's going to get out of the slump he's in. I'm telling you, CT3 has really, look, he's in a contract here. He wants to get paid. The team in the clubhouse, they've nicknamed him Paper Chaser because he's trying to get a bag. And how you get a bag? You play every day. You show your durability. He's always been a durable player. And this year, when guys have been in and out of that lineup, he's been posting all season long. So it's nice to see Chris. So Chris Taylor is you're not going to go wire to wire and not hit a slump. Unfortunately, his slump is getting pretty bad. Shout out to Larry David. And in his last 26 games, Chris Taylor's hitting 156 with a 517 OPS in that stretch, and you're seeing the strikeouts go up for Chris Taylor. And that is when you start to be concerned about Chris Taylor is when you saw in the St. Louis series, he was swinging at ball 4, swinging at ball 5, and it's almost like he's selling out on certain pitches, and it almost looks like when he's struggling that he's just guessing and he's just trying to go all out for stuff. But 38 strikeouts in his last 90 at-bats. I mean, that's a 42% strikeout rate right there. That's not what you want to see from Chris Taylor, but I'm confident that he'll get out of his slump. How do you guys feel about that? Do you guys think that Chris Taylor will get out of his slump? I mean, last year in the postseason, he didn't have the best postseason, that's for sure, but look, I think CT3 is a guy that he's going to – you want to see him up there hitting for power. You want to see him – I mean, that strikeout rate now, a little over 28.6%. Last year, it was down to 25.7%. And earlier in the year, we were really loving the way that number looked. It was in the low 20s and kept rising as the season progressed. But I'm still very confident about CT3 and his dependability to me, and the fact that you can rely on him helping the Dodgers out wherever they need to. That makes him such a valuable player. But here we go. Urias, the next Valenzuela. Trey does not fit batting third. Marco Rubio. Joe Bennett. I see the Giants losing 2 of 4 games to the Padres and getting swept by Atlanta. That's from Joe Bennett. I'm banking on the Padres. We can trash them tonight, but we're all going to be Padres fans, right? They still have 9 to play against San Francisco, and the Padres are a team that they want to hold on to that wild card spot, and it feels like the Dodgers almost have their number at this point, and especially with the way this rotation lines up with Buehler and Scherzer. I like the look. I was on Blue Heaven with my guys, Mr. Clint Pasillas and Mr. Brooks Smith, the senior editors here at Dodgers Nation, the host of the Blue Heaven podcast, and we're feeling good about their chances of going and taking care of business this series. And the Cubs, they were keeping it close, and then Belt hit the bomb today. Crawford made that phenomenal defensive play, one of the web gems of the year. Shout out to early 2000s ESPN. And they held on and they pulled away. We just need the Cubs. I mean, the Cubs have been playing better of late. I think they've won 8 of their last 11 games. And I'm hoping that they can find a way to get a win or two at home at Wrigley. I mean, come on, Chicago. What happened to that dynasty, okay? Did CT3 rob Manny of a home run? Julio under 2 ERA. We got $40 million. We got hopefully AJ's on the mend, and we'll be back soon to crush balls. That's from Deborah Young. I know you wanted to check in on your boy AJ. Yeah, it sounds like sounds like it's somewhat good news for AJ Pollock, based on what they're saying as far as hopefully getting him back right before the postseason starts. And I think that's really key for A.J. Pollock, is getting him back in there before the start of the postseason, because then he can find a rhythm. He's not going to go in there in the wild card game or in the NLDS and be expected to produce. He's going to need some time, and I think that Brewers series would be perfect, because the Brewers, they're leading the Central. No one's touching them in the Central, and they're really not competing with the Giants and the Dodgers for best record in Major League Baseball and the National League. So what do they have to play for? You always have stuff to play for, but for them, they're going to be resting guys. They're going to try to line up their starters for that division round series. So I think that'd be a perfect series for A.J. Pollock to return, hopefully before then, ideally. But I think the way it lines up, hopefully the Dodgers will have made some strides in the West, and hopefully we'll have the lead in the NL West when we celebrate our 9th straight division title. But Urias is 8-0 with a 1.66 ERA in his last 13 games, just like Scherzer, closing out strong. I mean, look at those numbers. They speak for themselves. Julio Urias, he's been a dog this entire year for LA. And we saw the big starts against Seattle, the 11 punch-out game. We saw him flirting with perfect games up in San Francisco, okay? When he's feeling it, he's feeling it. He's a model of dependability this year. Look, he took a little. I think to me it was a phantom IL stint when he had the calf contusion. We got hit against the Mets. I mean, they were just trying to give him a little breather. But I think the most impressive thing is the innings. I mean, it really is. I mean, Julio Urias, he was in. Look, we always knew that they protected him. He was in bubble wrap for most of his career. He had that shoulder surgery, and shoulder surgeries, I mean, look, man, sometimes those are worse than a Tommy John surgery, because look, man, Neil Elitroch and the gang, they have mastered this Tommy John. I think I should just get Tommy John. I mean, if I get Tommy John, I might even play, JV baseball at a local high school. I don't know. But the way they've figured that out. But shoulder injuries, those are the ones that can be real career threatening at this point. And for me, the thing I'm most impressed about is the fact that he's now at 163 1/3 innings pitched on the season. His previous high was 79 2/3 innings back in 2019. So that's just, to me, remarkable. He's already doubled his regular season innings count this season, and you love to see it. You slurve to see it, and it's great to see his development. I'm really proud of the guy, all the work he's put in. And look, remember last year we were talking about his first inning issues. I mean, his ability, he has matured before our eyes, and he's really blossoming into a really quality, to me, top 10, 15, 20, some days 7, 8 pitcher in Major League Baseball. I think that he really, by the end of this year, a couple more solid starts, and I think that he's definitely in the conversation as a top 15, top 10 to 15 pitcher in the league. I really do believe that. Here we go. What a big, and especially if you just kind of consider certain pockets. I mean, he did get some, post the sticky stuff. He had that rough start in San Diego where he gave the bomb to Machado and Cronenworth, but he bounced back and he's done well. But Machado sucks. Need to pay all the Dodgers. What a big dog. Go Blue. What up, Rigo over on Facebook? Julio Machado's overrated. Did Julio strike out with the bases loaded and then come out of the game the next inning? Padres should move to Mexico. This is going to be the season the Dodgers sneak in and take it. They're well capable of it. I don't think you sneak in anywhere if you're the Los Angeles Dodgers, to be frank. I mean, there's such a bullseye on this team's back with all the superstars on this team. It's just a superstar-laden lineup. And then you add guys like Trey Turner and Albert Pujols and Max Scherzer. You have MVPs down the line. You have stars. You have players that the rest of this league knows about, clutch hitters that have had their postseason moments like Justin Turner. Then, how about Mookie Betts, Kershaw? I mean, there's so many stars. I mean, there's more stars in the Dodgers than there are on a red carpet at a movie premiere here in L.A. That's how many stars are on this Dodgers team. So I don't think they sneak in anywhere, but I do understand. I hear you. I understand the point you're trying to make, though. So I definitely understand the point you're trying to make, but I don't think the Dodgers will be sneaking in everywhere. Every team is going to know that who they're playing against, what's at stake. And look, the rest of the league knows, the Dodgers know, it's no secret, this team will be considered a disappointment if they don't win the World Series. And on top of that, this team will be considered to be one of the biggest disappointments in the history of Major League Baseball if, one, they don't win the division, and that doesn't matter if they go on to win the World Series, but if they lose the division and lose in the wild card game, then you start including the 2021 Dodgers in the conversation with most disappointing teams of all time. Yes, the injuries have played a factor, but still, even with the injuries and despite those injuries, they should have enough to win. To be able to win that wild card game, especially when you add a Max Scherzer. I'm a little worried. D-Max, Strider, hear you. I'm worried too. Look, I'm not. Look, you guys know I'm very confident about winning this division, and I've pretty much doubled down and tripled down and quadrupled down all season long because I believe in the talent of this team. I believe in the starting pitching. I believe in the bullpen. Look at Blake Trinan. I mean, mash that hard button for Blake Trinan. The guy has been absolutely nails. I mean, he was fantastic. Let's get to his inning right now. I'm gonna do 10. Read off 10 comments right now. Then I'm gonna get back to this breaking down this game. We'll talk about Blake Trinan there. Coming in the 8th. But Terry Lear is a Dodgers tramp stamp. I'd be stroking. CT3 will break out. Lunoscope, we may have gotten the win, but 4 hits. This offense is really bad. Yeah, we kind of talked about that earlier in the show, and thankfully Julio Urias did what he did tonight, because this could have been an ugly loss for the Dodgers, possibly, but at least they did get a home run. At least Max Muncy was able to hit his 32nd bomb of the season. But here we go. Chris Taylor has played almost every game because of all the injuries. He's tired. D-Mac, thoughts on Jansen? That's from Mike M. Look, Kenley Jansen has quietly really, since those 3 blown saves after the All-Star break against the Rockies and the back-to-back ones against the Giants, which one of them really we know should have been a save with the rough check swing that was really not, but he really has gone together to an extent. I mean, Kenley's not perfect. He's not never going to be perfect at this stage of his career, but Kenley Jansen, if you look at the numbers here, Kenley Jansen, the last earned run he's given up was on Wednesday, August the 4th against Houston in a game that the Dodgers won. So you got to feel good about that if you're the Dodgers and how they're managing things with Kenley Jansen. If you remember, and even that one, it was look. I mean, he hung a cutter in the top of the zone to Tucker in that sense. So he's really put together a nice run of late, and yeah, I mean, he really has. So you got to give him some credit for Kenley Jansen. But like I said, the walks are kind of the issue with me. I mean, he's had some games against like the Mets where in New York where he came up big. He had the 2 walks in that one, but he was going multiple innings in that one. He ended up going 2 in that one, so he came up big for that one. And yeah, Julio Urias is. I mean, and if you look at his ERA in August, he had a 1.8 ERA in August. September, a 0 ERA. So he's actually trending in the right direction, and that's you want to see. Because to me, it's about keeping him serviceable, keeping him in a position where mentally he's ready to go out there and contribute and get big outs. Because we have a filthy animal who practices pitchcraft in Blake Trinan. Okay, we have a guy that go out there and get those big high leverage saves, and when you play those matchups in the right way. And then also Corey Knebel, he's put in some rough situations with these bullpen games, but I think Corey Knebel, once we continue to get starters back like Mr. Clayton Edward Kershaw, who will be starting on Monday against the Arizona Diamondbacks, once you get a little more stability from the starting rotation, these bullpen guys can get into roles they're more familiar with. They're gonna be more effective in the long run. But to answer your question, I'm never going to feel great about Kenley Jansen at this stage of his career, but I definitely feel good about Kenley Jansen, especially when you consider the meltdown he was going on after the All-Star break. He really has worked some things out. But here we go. Urias is a beast. Go Dodgers. Playoffs Machado is starting to look like Max Muncy. Too much Whack Donald S. Dodgers fans are okay. D-Mac, can I pinch hit for Belly? I'll go up there, man. I'll hit it like out of the parking lot, bro. I mean, I'll hit the old Think Blue sign. I'll hit the 76 logo, man. I'll hit a tank for. I got you, bro. Julio or Walker in the wild card game. If they're in the wild card game, to me, it's the way it's lined up. You got to go with Max Scherzer because if you made that trade for Max Scherzer, right? Imagine you give up your top 2 prospects and you have Max Scherzer, and he doesn't pitch in that wild card game, and he walks. Okay, he doesn't re-sign with the Dodgers. To me, if he at least pitches in that game, you can sleep at night knowing that you went with your top horse as far as, look, make no mistake about it, Max Scherzer is the hottest pitcher in Major League Baseball. He's been outstanding, a 105 ERA with the Dodgers. So how do you argue with that? Imagine Johnny Pena, imagine if Bauer's back. I actually want... That, to me, that take doesn't make sense to me when I hear that out there. Imagine if Bauer's back. Because I'll tell you right now, it was one or the other, Scherzer or Bauer. Max Scherzer and Bauer, they're not comparable pitchers. Max Scherzer is an all-time great. He's an absolute elite. Bauer, post the sticky stuff, was not an elite pitcher if we're looking at the metrics and the data and the facts back that up. So to me, it's not this whole idea of like, yeah, imagine this, imagine that. To me, it's such a hypothetical that was never a possibility that to me it's not worth imagining. But here we go. D-Mac, our pitching has been carrying us, and we need more of our offense. I agree. Smash that like button for D-Mac. What up, IB Stroking? Appreciate you, my dude. Los Padres, we got Jansen is a Hall of Famer. Oh man, I did a video on that one. It's an interesting one. I think he needs actually like 3-4 more years possibly. Hopefully he can get to that 300 save mark. That'd be big. Stephen Toe hooking up with 1969. D-Mac, what's your thoughts on Roberts moving Trey Turner down? By the way, Stephen Toe, I'm going to apply that 1969 to Max Scherzer's contract offer. I'm going to put if you guys ever throw me down some cash, you know I appreciate you. If we take out any of that dough, I'll put that towards the pot for Max Scherzer's contract, maybe CT3 Seager, just in case. I know they print money, but I want to do my part. But I have to give Kenley props tonight. He looked pretty sharp. That's from Diane Schroeder over on YouTube. Yeah, I mean, he definitely did. And I think that when you see Kenley Jansen going out there like he did against St. Louis, when it's not safe situations and getting the job done, going out there, looking focused, to me, that's when you start to see he does look like he's benefiting off how good the guys have stepped up with the Vessias and the Bickfords and the Blake Tryans kind of go without saying. But tonight he goes in there, he gives up the single to Frazier, soft contact. But tonight goes 1 inning and he gets it done, and he gets the save, his 31st save of the year, in just 7 pitches. And what's the key number there? 7 pitches, 6 for strikes. Kenley Jansen 3 for 4 on first pitch strikes, and it was definitely encouraging to see. And I think that I mean, look, we can to me, let's handle this situation with Kenley Jansen. Where are we right now? The reality is, they're going to use Kenley Jansen. The reality is we're going to need him to go out there and find a way to be productive and find a way to get, whether it be a save, whether it be a high leverage inning late. They're going to be using Kenley Jansen, especially if he continues to perform this way, and he's looking solid of late. And that's just the reality of the situation. And the better he looks, the more confident they are going to be in using him. And tonight, Kenley Jansen, if you look at that cutter, averaged 91.6 on the cutter, topped out at 93.1 miles per hour. Goes with it 6 times, and when he's going dominant with the cutter, the velo was down like slightly, that's for sure, but he used the slider once. But look at that, you got the 4 swings, got the one whiff, but it was inducing some soft contact. I mean, looking at the average exit velo was at 67.2 miles per hour, so that means the cutter was out there doing its job, and that's definitely what you want to see. Now, back to my comments here, guys. 1 second. But yeah, let's get back into the top of the sixth inning. Kim grounded to second. Urias gets Tatis looking on a nasty curve for the second out, and then Myers doubled to center, and then Profar grounded to second for the third out. So he doubled to center, and nothing happened. That's the thing, too. Pitching with traffic with Julio Urias has been really fantastic in that department this season. And then the top of the 8th inning. This is where it really got interesting as far as the Padres having their best chance to tie this one up late. Grisham struck out looking on the cutter, and then Machado, he grounded to short. And then with 2 outs, Kim singled to shallow right. And then Tatis Jr., he singled to right. He poked a little sinker at the bottom of the zone into left. And for a second, it looked like Kim was going to try to score. He holds him up with 2 outs. It was the right decision. Mookie's arm, we've seen him make highlight plays at home plate, but so they don't test Mookie. And the next batter is Will Myers. He's at home plate representing the tying run. It was a competitive at-bat, but on a 3-2 count, he can't hold up on the slider away, and the Dodgers get out of the jam. There was a couple instances there where it looked like he was going to be able to strike, that he had gone. It was some close calls. I think the first one was definitely a strike, but hey, they don't get the call. But if you look at Blake Trinan, since June 9th, 41 innings pitched, an ERA of .90, and you got the 47 strikeouts and 11 walks. 47 strikeouts and 11 walks in that span. My man has been nothing short of dominant, and if he can continue this pace, I mean, this is exactly what the Dodgers were hoping he would be when they signed him. And we saw the deal that Andrew Freeman gave him when he was really a reclamation project, going from one of the best closers in the game, and then he gets replaced by Liam Hendricks, and then he gets demoted, then he signs the Dodgers. I think it was a 1-year, $10 million contract for the 2020 season, and then they re-up that at 2 years, $17.5 million this offseason. I mean, what a great contract. One of the best reliever contracts in Major League Baseball right now. You get the short term, you pay the money, and he goes in there and he dominates. So that was fantastic to see. The Dodgers get the win. They remain 2.5 games back right now. Do you guys think the Cubs will take any games from the Giants? What do you think? So heading into Monday, the Dodgers, they have 2 more against San Diego with Buehler and Scherzer on the mound. The Cubs, they have 2 more against the Giants. Dodgers currently 2.5 games back. What will that lead look like as we enter Monday? Let me know down below in the comment section. Let me get back to these comments, guys. Lost you for a quick second, and here we go. IB Stroking $5, my man, going into the pot. Thank you. Oh, and actually, no, that's going to my carne asada fries fund. Definitely. I mean, they had some nacho carne asada stuff. I want to get this farmer's market, but I was warned not to because we're about to do that show. But I think after this, I'm going to treat myself. This is a taco truck that sells carne asada fries less than a mile from here. I think that's what I'm doing. It's 10:49. It's a Friday night. What else am I going to do? I'll go get that, and I'll come back and I'll rewatch the game because that's just what I do. But how mad is Machado that the Pods suck? Yeah, he looked a little upset after he got robbed again. Mike, I agree. Roberts was good tonight. Yeah, I thought sticking with Julio Urias, riding him, And then you go with Blake, it was not his most difficult night managing with the way the pitchers were dealing and the way, look, I mean, the Padres offense, they weren't hitting sand if they fell off a camel tonight during certain at-bats. So, yeah, it was a good night for Dave Roberts. But Dave Roberts, like I said, he has to win his second World Series to really win his first World Series when it comes to the fans. And you only hear about him when he's doing bad, not when he's doing good. So I appreciate that you point out that he did have a pretty solid night. Here we go, a half-game lead. Travis Harrison, let's do this. Half-game lead. Not possible, but I'll take it. Padre, okay. Oh, sorry. I get it. So you think the Giants, they're going to have a half-game lead. I feel that if that's the case, that's the best-case scenario. So hopefully that's the case. Wylux over Beatty. I mean, who knows what the travel was like and if that was how the process went, because it was announced later in the day that Beatty was going to come up after that hip injury for Billy McKinney. But I do want to see Gavin Lux is playing really well. I mean, he was swinging a hot bat in the minor league level. Maybe they're trying to ride that. And then Matt Beatty, I don't know. He's just been in Doc's doghouse pretty much his whole career for some reason that we don't know. But I don't know. Cubs are sorry not playing for anything. I think San Francisco is due for a slump. Hopefully, a sealed loner. Trying to face heart of the order. Jansen got the bottom of the lineup. Fantastic point. And that is why, Mike M., that is why you don't want to lock people in to the closer's role. We talked about wins and losses earlier. All this stuff is obsolete now in Major League Baseball. You want to maintain that flexibility so you can use guys in high-leverage situations. The game can be lost in the 7th and 8th inning based on what you said. When you got the meat of the order, that's when you want to put your best relievers against them. So, fantastic point. Why do you think Doc hates Beatty, Adam? I really don't even know. I don't know. I really don't know. I'll give you my theories later. But Beatty is one step closer to playing time. Well, I mean, I do know in a sense. I mean, really, it's his defensive woes, and he definitely leaves a lot to be desired when it comes to his defensive prowess. I mean, his UZR 150 is like minus 15.1, something like that. He's just not a natural outfielder, but then the question is, can you find a way to get him at first base? Not too many options to make that happen. Yes, there are some. I think that's really ideal for him. And I think really Matt Beatty, I'm excited to see him on the Dodgers next year when the DH is around. And you're going to, of course, we'll see they bring back Pujols. And, of course, Justin Turner is going to get probably a lion's share of that at some point. But also Matt Beatty can play some third base too. So I'm with you, D-Mac, on Beatty. Sorry to hear you. Why Seager doesn't hit second. I've been on that Samuel Kim. I want to see him hitting second. Two, you got to take the bad with the good. Beatty just has to get better on defense. But I'm with you, D-Mac. Take the good with the bad. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. I mean, with this offense, they're continuing to just not put together competitive at-bats and not stringing base hits together. We have guys that can mash up and down this lineup, and you see that the Dodgers still top 5 in home runs in the league. And you got the Max Muncies, the Turners, the Mookies, the Seagers that can go deep. Right now, losing Pollock definitely hurts. But I do want to see a guy like Matt Beatty go up there and make this Dodgers lineup a more dynamic lineup, and that's, to me, what he can provide. But no DH, you're not anti-DH. Okay, give Roberts the paper. Muncy hitting second is fine. I do like the idea behind. I mean, to me, if you're going to have Muncy second, I want to see Trey Turner get back to first, because then he'll benefit by seeing more fastballs, benefit by having Trey Turner on base as more of a weapon with his wheels than Mookie is, considering his hip situation and just the pure fact that Trey Turner is an elite. Look, I mean, save for LeCastro, Trey Turner is the fastest guy in the league. Here we go. The lineup is fine. We got. You think it's the line? This lineup was fine. It was fine. I mean, I wasn't. It wasn't like against. It wasn't the poo-poo lineup the other day where it was the meme of the horse, but still, it was. It's a lineup that if the guys produce like they're capable of, the Turners, the Muncies, the Seagers, the Mookies, it's fine. It hides the fact that the bottom isn't producing. And then also you got to talk about Will Smith. Will Smith has been. I think Will Smith. Do you want to consider batting him higher at this point too, considering the second half he's had? And then to me, the key to that bottom of the lineup is getting Chris Taylor to get him back on track. I think that's really the key at this point. Cody Bellinger. We talked about him so much, kind of ad nauseum at this point, but we're not going to focus too much on that based on the fact that, look, tonight, Belly didn't even have an at-bat. He comes in there late. and plays the outfield. But, yeah, this lineup, look, you got Betts, got Muncy, Turner, Seager, Justin Turner, and then Will Smith. To me, I think that, I mean, we'll see how it goes for a couple days, but I definitely want to see Trey Turner back at the top of this lineup. But here we go. But Oral said everyone needs to produce to win a championship, Doug. No question about it. I mean, we saw it last year. You get contributions from everywhere top to bottom. Look at Austin Barnes. He gets the big hit against Blake Snell that ultimately leads to Kevin Cash making the best decision in Dodgers history and taking out Blake Snell, which allowed them to ultimately win Game 6 and win the World Series. And you're gonna get those sneaky contributions all over the place. But with the talent that this team has, to me, it's just there's different levels to how this team can peak. And when you have the talent that this Dodger team has, if the guys 1 through 6 are producing like they are capable of, it can hide the 7 through 9 guys the 6 through 9 guys or the 7, 8 hitters. And with the Chris Taylors of the world, if they're not getting it done, and then Austin Barnes if he's hitting, or a Gavin Lux in today's. So we'll see. Trey Mookie double steals in first inning. That was cool. When is AJ Pollock coming back? Hopefully, just before the postseason. We'll see. Wouldn't mind a Trey first, Mookie second against lefties. Yeah, that's another thing too. That's definitely another thing too that you want to play that lefty righty matchup, and then put Mookie there in the leadoff spot. But I think that just some cohesion in this lineup and just the success that the Dodger team had. I mean, look, Trey Turner, he bats third tonight. He snaps a 16-game hitting streak. So here we go. AJ Pollock won't be back till the end of September, maybe. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Right now, Belly could jump out of a boat and not hit water, Mike. Yeah. Yep. Here's give me your top lineups. I mean, we'll end on this, guys. Where are we at time-wise? I'll keep you guys all night. 52-minute mark. All right, let's get these. Get your best and final lineup. Let's say it's Game 7. Who you rolling with? And then we'll head out of this one. Why not have Betts and Trey hit 1 and 2? Stop insisting about taking Mookie out of the leadoff spot. LOL. I mean, all right. I mean, to me, that's just my opinion. I mean, this team played their best baseball. Let's be honest here. This team played their best baseball this season with Trey Turner hitting leadoff. And to me, if this was Mookie Betts in a normal year where he wasn't dealing with a hip injury, he got the injection, he's feeling good. But I think if you're Mookie Betts, you might be better served allowing Trey Turner have the leadoff. But then Mookie did have the hit tonight, but we'll see how it goes. But to me, if you're asking me, I would go with Trey Turner. Pollock is not taking his usual injury leave like every year. It's just taking his usual injury leave. Yeah, Trey Turner. We'll see tomorrow, but if Trey has any success in the 3-hole, I wouldn't mind it considering his hit tool, basically how JT was last and this year. Yeah, I mean, with his hit tool the way it is, he can have success batting leadoff or batting third, but we have seen him have a positive impact being a spark plug, and just look at his batting average. I mean, one of the tops in the league. I mean, he's battling for the hit to be the hitting champion this year for the National League, and Mookie Betts is hitting .268 on the year. Okay, so in Mookie Betts in the last 30 days, the last 30 games, he's been up and down, and he's been dealing with reinserting himself into this lineup. But hey, look, the reality is if Mookie Betts feels more comfortable batting first, and this is a message that he relayed towards Dave Roberts, he's the franchise player, make no mistake about it. And if that's where he thinks he can have the most success, then so be it. But do I think that is the optimal lineup for the Dodgers? Look, I mean, Mookie Betts, last 15 games, he's hitting .208 with a .689 OPS. Trey Turner, last 27 games, he's hitting .312 with an .834 OPS. So, but yeah, so we can agree to disagree on that one. But here we go. Back into the comment section. DMAC, best of business. Thanks for another one. Yeah, man, thanks, guys. You guys are the best, man. Thanks for rocking with us here on a Friday night. I was out of town. A memorial service for my grandma, R.I.P., and that's why I had to miss the show on Tuesday. But we're back here Friday night doing the show, so didn't want to go the whole week not doing a show because it's going down right now. I mean, it's the heat of the pennant race. We want to win this division. But thanks again, guys. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at DMAC_LA. That's at DMAC_LA. If you haven't yet, be sure to subscribe to the Dodgers Nation YouTube channel at youtube.com/DodgersNationTV. Be sure to head over to GearUp.LA for all his Dodgers Nation gear. Also, if you have not, download the new Dodgers Nation app. Thanks a lot, Mike Camp. Another walkout. Oh, yeah, no worries, guys. It's all good. But I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you guys. Download the app, man. The app is big. The app is really, really getting a lot of love because it really gets all the Dodgers Nation content in one place. Also, the filters, man. It's great. You can get the Justin Turner beard, the Max Muncy Bane, or the Max Scherzer Mad Max face. So it's really cool. But thanks, guys. You're the best in the game. Best fans in the game, no question about it. We'll be back Sunday. Hopefully, we'll be closer to the Giants in the division. Like I said, follow me on at DMac_LA. Enjoy the rest of your Friday night and your weekend. If you're a football fan, it's going to be a big weekend for you too. College and the NFL, it's going down. But thanks again, guys. That's going to do it, guys. And remember, nothing brings us together quite like Dodger baseball. And until next time, think blue, bleed blue, and I'm out.
It's time for Dodger baseball.
What a catch by Mookie Betts. Another home run for Corey Seager. Another strikeout for Kershaw. A robbery of Tatis. Gone. Will Smith. This is what an ace looks like.
And tag out is Riley, a double play.